כתוב במגילה, פור, כרפס ושחלס. תחושה ראשונה, מה היה חור עושה שם? מדוע חור היה שם? תחושה שנייה, מדוע אכלו כרפס? לכאורה היה פורים, לא פסח. מדוע אכלו קרפש? מדוע אחשוורוש למד תפילס והיה גוי? שאלו השלושה קושיות. מדוע היה חור? מדוע קרפש?
הקידוש ליום, זה בדיוק מתאים, זה מראה עדיין.
כולם בשקט! כולם בשקט! וואו, וואו, וואו!
זה מה ששתיים.
חבריכו ואמרכם כי לא יסרו חסותיכו ואמרכם כי לא יסרו חסותיכו
It's not the day for this part, yeah.
Not a married woman. Once she was married, so she had no shaykhs to any of the fathers. Therefore, bottom line, somebody who doesn't learn at all has to go into the army. Because the Chazon Ish says that a person's not learning and stays out of the army, ki'ilu he's learning, so he's a rodei for Talmidei Chachamim. Soon. I can't think. The person, let me finish first. The person who's learning part-time, so when he's learning, he's putter from the army. When he's not learning, then the tour doesn't apply, then he's chai. But a person who's learning full-time is in a different army. He's in the Tzva Hashem. It's not a tour. It's not putter from the army. He's chai to be in the army, except he's in a different army. The Mela is a Mashuach Melchama. The Mashuach Melchama is the general of the Tzva Hashem. He also has to have a shaykhs to the battle. He doesn't go into battle, but he's the general of Tzva Hashem. So there it's not a tour. There it's taka, right? There it's a different tzava. So for him, I feel even though Kala v'chas and Yoshin and Mechemes Mitzvah, that's only where there's a tour. But the Ma'aseh, there's no tour. But he's in the army. He's just in a different army. Then the tour doesn't apply to him, and that applies even the Melchemes Mitzvah. Here's Hashem. We hope that the parties will accept this shot, and the Giyus, the Gzeres HaGiyus, will be over. We'll see it here, Hashem. Everybody is Gayes, the Melchemes Mitzvah of Kibush Haaretz, V'vias Koel Tzedek, K'erev Yoleinu. L'chaim, l'chaim.
אני רואה מירו בספרסו זכו אני אבירים נורץ וגורלים קורסי קורסון לסכינו לא במלכות שדי חבני בוסור יקרו בשמחו להכניס אליכו כל רישי אורץ יכירו וידעו כל יושבי תבל כי לכל תכרע כל דרך שובה כל ראשוי לפניך אדוני אלוהינו יכרו ויפעלו אבל יכרו את שמחו יקור איתנו בכל וקבלו כל השלח וסכו סליחה לנרון לנבל כי המלכות שלכו
Levi are Tzva Hashem. It's not that he's parted from the army. He's in the army, just in a different army. There's two armies. There's the army of Bnei Adam and the army of the Rabbanu Shalom. So the person who's learning full time, he's in the army of the Rabbanu Shalom. It's not that he's parted from the army. He's chayiv in the army. He has a different army. That's a shayla. Is the tour that he's parted from going into the army, or no? He's really chayiv to go into the army. He's in a different army. Nafkamina? Oh, what's a nafkamina? Two are nafkaminas. What if he's not learning? If it's a patur, because when he's learning, he's patur, he's not learning, he's not patur. But if he's in a different army, it doesn't make a difference if right now he's learning or not, he's in a different army. Another nafkamina is when there's no patur. So if there's no patur, then if the only reason he's patur is because of patur, there's no patur over here. But if he's in a different army, it doesn't depend on the patur. With this, that we make this chiluk between somebody who's in a different army, who's in Tzva Hashem, and somebody who really belongs in the first army, but it's patur because he's learning, you can understand the following psukim in the Megillah. One time it says, Esther ein lo av v'ein. Esther didn't have a mother and a father. Yet it mentions 3 fathers that Esther had. Esther bas Avichayil, Mordechai, right? Mordechai Labas, Mordechai was her father, and Esther bas Dodo, and Dodo was her father. She had 3 fathers, Avichayil, Dodo, and Mordechai. How in the world could the Megillah say Ein lo av v'ein if she had 3 fathers? How could it be she had no father? It says in Mishlei, Eishes Chayil miyimtza, and yet it says Rabos Bonos Asu Chayil. How can it be that you can't find an Eishes Chayil if Rabos Bonos Asu Chayil?
You said that last year.
No, the chiluk is Dupshat. A daughter can have shaykhs to a chayal, but a wife can't have shaykhs to a chayal. So as long as a woman's not married, she has shaykhs to a chayal. Once she gets married, she has no shaykhs. Then Eishes Chayil miyimtza. Memela like this. The Avichayil, she was the daughter of Avichayil. My father was a chayal, right? Only as long as she was a bonos. Once she got married, she was nifka, her kesher to her father Avichayil, and Mela, she was down to 2 fathers. Avichayil was no longer shaykh to her because she was an Eishes Chayil miyimtza. Till then, she was a Bnos Chayil. So Mela, she didn't have shaykhs to Avichayil. She still had Mordechai and Dodo. Mordechai, L'chora, was an anomaly. Mordechai, in some places, mashma that he was a chayal, in some places, mashma he wasn't. It says that Mordechai yotzim lefnei hamelech bevush malchus. He wore the bevush malchus. That's a uniform. The bevush that belongs to the malchus. So you see that Mordechai was a soldier. On the other hand, it says, what's it called? And it says also another pasuk, Parashas Gedulas Mordechai, Al Sefer Divrei Hayom Malchei Modai. He wore modim. So Mordechai, in one place we see, wore a uniform. And then it says, Vayikra Mordechai is begada. The halacha is, if you're wearing a soldier's uniform by the coastal, you don't have to tear kriya. Because not your begadim. It belongs to the malchus. So you're not allowed to tear it. So how could Mordechai tear his clothing if it wasn't his? Must be he was wearing his own clothing. So he wasn't wearing a uniform. So Manafshah, was Mordechai a chayol and wore a uniform, or he didn't wear a uniform? The Maisa, it says, what's it called also, that Mordechai, Esther sent him big day malchus, and he didn't want to accept them, so he didn't wear a uniform. So you see a stira. Some places it says Mordechai wore a uniform, and sometimes it says Mordechai didn't wear a uniform. You have to say like this, Mordechai was not Torasa Umnaso. Mordechai learned, but he didn't learn full time, right? And it says Beferish, it wasn't Torasa Umnosa. Because it says Vayhi Omein es Hadassah, right? He worked also as a shliach for Hadassah, right? He raised money, Mistama, for them. So that's why he was an Omein. Part of his umness was for the sake of Hadassah, not just for himself. So he wasn't Torasa Umnoso. So when he was a soldier, when he was learning, he was not a soldier. When he wasn't learning, he was a soldier.
But then he was a part-time learner.
So that's right, part-time learning, right? Part-timing. And when he was only a part-time, he was in the army. So that's why she didn't have any shaykhs to Mordechai, because Mordechai also was a part-time chayal. So therefore, what's it called? He was like a Nachal Haredi or a Hester. So he's a part-time chayal. So Esther didn't have a shaykhs to him anymore because Eishes Chayil miyimtza. But we're still left with Dodo. But now, who is Dodo?
No, he was extinct. He's extinct.
Dodo, as this famous song goes, do, a deer, a female deer. Do is a female deer. Dodo is a double female deer. And what does a female deer have to do with this? A female deer is a tzviya. Is a tzviya. Says in Shir Hashirin, Domer Dodi Litzvi. The Rabbanu Shalom is compared to a tzvi. A dodo is two tzvis. Somebody who's totally compared to the Rabbanu Shalom. And the word tzviya is tzva yud kei. The tzav of the Rabbanu Shalom. That's Shevet Levi. Shevet Levi is represented by a tzviya. Tzva Hashem. Dodo was totally in the tzva Hashem. Now it says that a Levi is porak me'olav kol cheshbonos and holach yosher. When the Rebbeinu Shalom created Adam and Chava, there was no klala of tsar gidul bonim. So a person who is totally devoted to tzva Hashem is potter from tsar gidul bonim, has no shaykhs to his children. That's why it says the Torah is miskayim only in somebody who's nasa achzori al bonav, like an orev. That's what it means. Person who's torasol naso is menutak bechlal mitzar gidul bonim. So mitzad dodo, she didn't have a shaykhs with her father because he was menutak, he was bechlal parak me'olav, all the olos. I'm a kabel all of all Torah, mavirim imenu all derech eretz, the all malchus. Mitzad Mordechai, she was menuta because he was a partial chayil. And Eishes chayil neimtza. Mitzad Abichayil, she was menuta because Lamaisa Eishes chayil neimtza. So usual, I don't know why. Usually don't drink.
Competing with Rabbi Wine.
Maybe I'm competing with Rabbi Roll, and then we're going to have finish B'Makom Suda. Not yet. I'm really too busy.
Rabbi's talking.
Everybody.
I want to start with an emes of Dvar Torah, and then something different. It says, Milchama Lashem Ba'Molech Midor Dor. What's this milchama with the Amalek? Mesilas Yesharim says that the ikar milchama that a person has in this world is with his Yetzer Hara. When people came back from milchama, Moshe Rabbeinu told them something. Haboyim lemilchama. I really don't know what I'm doing. Haboyim limilchama, not haboyim me milchama, but haboyim limilchama. That now you're going to face the biggest milchama. That's milchemes hayetzer. And therefore it says with the milchemes hayetzer, ilmoli Hashem ozro lo lo yochalo. Even though hakol b'dei shomayim chutz me'yira shomayim, that's only the beginning. Person has to make the beginning. If he makes the beginning, then the Rabbanu Shalom will help him. If he doesn't help him, he won't help. So Milchama Lashem Ba'Molech Midor Dor means the Milchamas HaYetzer, that everybody has to do with the Yetzer Hara. Listen, boys, all you have to do is make the beginning. I know it seems to be difficult, but if you make the start, the Rabbanu Shalom will help you and give you Siyata D'Shmaya. All of us. And that's the Milchama Lashem Ba'Molech Midor Dor. And that's why the mitzvah of Zechiras Amalek is not to remember Amalek.
I want to ask something. Is it tradition?
English!
1 second. I don't know. יש לי טרדיציה, אני צריך לנסוע לבני ברק. יש לי טרדיציה באמצע עכשיו בישראל. אבל עצר חדיציה, עקיבא, אתה תעזוב אותך, אתה לא מצביע. עזוב את מי שלא מצביע לא יכול להשפיע. עזוב.
המצווה הוא
איש לחדיציה מאוד יעשה.
לסגור את החטאים שהגיעו לעמלק ולהתגבר עליהם. כל אחד צריך להאמין שהקדוש ברוך הוא איתו, הוא יכול לעזור לו לעזוב את הדרך הלא נכון שלו. תשמעו, בחורים, עכשיו, I want to speak about the Gzeirus Hagius.
היחד יחד שוויון בנטל, יחד יחד שוויון בנטל, יחד יחד שוויון בנטל, יחד יחד שוויון בנטל, שוויון בנטל, שוויון.
This Gzeira Chamura, those who appreciate Yiddish understand that Gius in Yiddish is gay use, gay, go to US, go to the America. People are afraid that if there's such a Gezerah, then gay use. Gay to the US.
Shlomo Sesmer, come over here. זה בססום שום אדישון.
מה?
בססום שום אדישון. אני לא אוהב רטוב, אני אוהב יבש. זה רטוב, זה רטוב. יבש, תראה מנו. זה מאוד רטוב, אתה רוצה לדעת למשפור עליכם. שמה זה, הכל זה
Time of Mordechai and Esther, in Shushan Abira, they had such a Gzeira also. How do I know that? It says, V'ha'ir Shushan Navocha. What was the Nebucha? What were they perplexed about? Because it says, V'ha'ir Shushan Tzohala. They wanted to make them all Tzahal. So that's why they were
You could do better than that.
עד שהוא לא מביא יין, אין פה, לא ממשיך. אתה מודע סגיד. בדרך הטוב מונלך.
לא, תן לו. הוא ישתה בשבילי.
מודסה, ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו, מלך עולם, בוירי פרי הגופן. אמן! לה 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 לה
That was the Gzeira of Haman.
Amen.
As it says in the palace every day, the Gzeira of Gius Lahashmi. Do you really think that Haman wanted to destroy everybody? No.
Yes.
He just wanted to take everybody into the army.
Yeah, right.
That's why it says that when they were Matzliach to be saved, what was the saving? What was the salvation? It says, Asher nosan hamelech laYehudim la'amod al nafsham la'abed es kol chel amu medina. The Hatzalah was that they destroyed the whole Indian of Chayalim and the whole Indian of Medina.
There were stock bars then.
Nice. Big cash on this. Big cash on this.
Not enough, sorry.
Okay, yeah, tell us.
So sorry.
The mice
Okay, Arlene.
Now it's time to get serious.
very difficult to understand how Achashverosh agreed to force people to go into the army when the sheet of Achashverosh was Lasos Kirson Ish Vaish. Everybody can do whatever they want. Lamaisa though says by Vashti,
Amen.
Batimoin Vashti Lovo and Lahachas Dosa Lahamis. How can it be that if Achashverosh Shita was Lasos Kirson Ish Vaish, he didn't let Vashti do whatever she wanted? So maybe you can make a chiluk between men and women. Lasos Kirson Ish Vaish, only men can do what they want. But women can't do whatever they want. That's what it says. It says, Leos kol ish so they so. The men ruled over the women. Hadoras Noshim.
The good old days.
You can't say that. It says in Megillah also that even men they forced. Asher kol ish ve'isha. Asher yovoel amelach shaloch hados. Achas dos alohamis. It says isha ve'isha. It's the stira. Here it says lasos kirtzon ish ve'ish. Here it says ish ve'isha. Asher yovoel amelach shaloch hados. They can't just do whatever they want.
That's right.
Now the difference is like this. If it's a personal thing, lasos kirtzon ish va'ish, Achashverosh let it. But if it's an inyan of Malchus, if it's an inyan of the Medina, then they can force men and women. So the Chora Gius is an inyan of Medina. It's a Malchus inyan. So there, the Chora they can force, and that's why I was thinking that there's a teretz to Tosas Kasha in Shabbos. Says that Klal Yisrael said Nasa v'Nishma, and yet Kof Aleim Harkikigish. Because Nasa v'Nishma was each individual decided to accept the Torah. That's totally beratzon. But a tzibur thing, Klal Yisrael Kof Aleim Harkikigish, not Kof Alav. Kof Aleim, when it comes to the Klal, there's no choice. There it's Kfiyah. So in the Chorah there can be Kfiyah also to go to the army. Because that's a Klal thing, that's a Medina thing. So now we know that it's possible to force people to go into the army. Shaila is, who can you force? Right? Is there an Indian of, first of all, everybody being equal? Is there an Indian for the Medina to make everybody equal? Shivyon, right? So the Chorahs have often a pasuk in the Torah that everybody has to be equal when it comes to the army. It says in next week's Sedra, Ki Sisa Esrosh B'nei Yisrael L'Pkudehem. Now what does a seesaw have to do with the army? Ki Sisa Esrosh B'nei Yisrael. A seesaw is where one guy's on one side and one guy's on the other side, and if this guy's down, the other guy's up, and if this guy's up, the other guy's down. And the only time is when there's a balance between them. That's what a seesaw is. So when it comes to Fikudehem, when it comes to the army, there has to be a kisisa, there has to be a balance between everybody. And that's why that there's another Eitzah, and there were some that said that Enochinami, if everybody doesn't want to be in the army, so you can't have this seesaw where everybody is equal, then Kol Ha'overa Pikudi. If somebody doesn't want to go into the army, then he has to pay. So then you can take away his zechuyos and can make him pay extra money, and that makes everybody equal. So it's either one or the other.
Whose side do you want?
Either, you have to pay. Wait, there's more to this.
Certainly hope so.
However,
We're waiting for the however.
all of that, even though everybody has to be equal, Lemaisa, there are people who are potter from going into the army, right? So now we have to know, is Talmud Torah one of the Purim to go into the army? So the Rambam in the end of Hilchas Shemitah V'Yovel says, it's not Shevet Levi alone, they don't go into the army, but anybody who wants to be menadeh, to totally devote himself to the Rabbanu Shalom, the Holach Yoshar, to Moshe Baro, Elokim, Uparak, Ni'olav, all HaCheshbonos Harabim, so he doesn't go into the army, he doesn't have to make a parnasa, and everybody supports him, he doesn't go into the army. That is a p'tur. There's only one problem, right? It says that all those who are potter from Milchama are only potter from Milchemes Rishus. But in Milchemes Mitzvah, afilu chasu nechedro v'kala michupasa, go to the army. So the chora, that p'tur doesn't apply even to people who are learning Torah. They have to go to the army. And also, if Shevet Levi is potter from going to the army, why was there Meshuach Milchama, a Kohen who was Meshuach Dafka to go into the Milchama? He's potter from Milchama. That's the concept of a Meshuach Milchama. So maybe we can be mechalik like this. Only people who learn full-time.
Yeah.
So they're taka potter from the army. But people who only learn part-time, not. And I have a fair shariah from the Megillah that part-time people are not potter from the army. Because it says, Chel, Poras, Umodai, Hapartami.